What's up, guys? It's been a long time since I last posted. I apologize, and I promise to make it up to you at the end of this video, so I highly encourage you to watch it all the way through, and you're in for a surprise. Tomorrow is Halloween, which may explain this Flash shirt. I'm a big fan of the Flash and the Arrow. If you know me, I like archery, running, and superheroes. But in all seriousness, I wanted to talk about Donald Trump in this video and why it does not deserve anyone's vote, mainly because whether we like to admit it or not, literally climate change is on the ballot. You know, there's a lot of policies and regulations that could be enforced by a Biden administration that helps combat carbon emissions here in the US. There's also social justice on the ballot. There's already been a criminal justice reform bill under the Trump administration, but I know Biden at least acknowledges systemic racism and isn't in doubt of it. There's also immigration on the line, and there are several hundred kids that are not able to be reunited with their parents because guess what? The Trump administration fucked up on that part. And there's so much more on the ballot this election. I'm going to share 3 moments with you that I thought were very terrible moments during Trump's administration, moments that I thought Trump really disqualified himself for any position of employment. I really was shocked. So without further ado, I'm gonna start with the first one.
In recognition of all that you have done for our nation, the millions of people a day that you speak to and that you inspire, and all of the incredible work that you have done for charity, I am proud to announce tonight that you will be receiving our country's highest civilian honor, the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Rush Limbaugh is a conservative talk show host, and he is the worst person when it comes to race relations. He is, in my opinion, that uncle that you really want to throw out of the family, but you can't, except he's not my uncle, and fuck him. So here's a video of him speaking on his show, and, you know, quick warning, it's very racially charged and very ugly.
They have discovered that Obama does have slave blood.
You put your kids on a school bus, you expect safety, but in Obama's America, the white kids now get beat up with the black kids cheering, yeah, right on, right on, right on.
They got the first black president, independence, but we can't go after poor old Barack that way, because he's a minority in the country. Who is Obama? Why is he doing this? No, why? He wouldn't have been voted president if he weren't black.
Let me put it to you this way. The NFL, all too often, looks like a game between the Bloods and the Crips without any weapon. How many people really think of Obama as black? He's not from the hood. He's not from the movement.
Everybody's making immigration proposals these days. Let me add mine to the mix. Call it the Limbaugh laws. First, you immigrate to our country, you have to speak the native language. You have to be a professional or an investor. No unskilled workers allowed. Also, there'll be no special bilingual programs in the schools with the Limbaugh laws, no special ballots for elections, no government business will be conducted in your language. Foreigners will not have the right to vote or hold political office. If you're in our country, you cannot be a burden to taxpayers. You are not entitled to welfare or food stamps or other government goodies. You can come if you invest here, an amount equal to 40,000 times a daily minimum wage. If not, stay home. But if you want to buy land, it'll be restricted. No waterfront, for instance, and as a foreigner, you have to relinquish individual rights to the property. And another thing, you don't have the right to protest. You're allowed no demonstrations, no foreign flag waving, no political organizing, no bad-mouthing our president or his policies. You're a foreigner. Shut your mouth or get out. And if you come here illegally, you're going to jail.
So Donald Trump obviously loves him because he's a bigot and he's racist. That in itself demonstrates who Donald Trump is as a person, what he enjoys watching, what he is. He literally gave a medal of freedom to someone that is so stuck in the 40s to 50s of just his. You saw it. You saw this video. I can't. There's so many things wrong with what he said. He said Obama had slave blood. Well, there is no such thing as slave blood. There is just the enslavement of a fucking human being. Rush Limbaugh somehow saying that he's not with the struggle, that he's not black. Joe, like, what is wrong with this guy? I could not with that. I literally lost it when I learned this. And when he received that medal, the applause he received applause. People were clapping for him. And then we have the administration, which I don't know what systemic racism is. Systemic racism, what? Is that an issue?
That America is systemically racist. And that, as Joe Biden said, that he believes that law enforcement has an implicit bias against minorities is a great insult.
Great insult.
Republicans say, "Oh my God, we've done so much for the black community," but you literally celebrate this person. You can see more videos from Rush Limbaugh. A lot of them are bad. It gets worse. I'll move on in the interest of time. The second instance, you actually get to see my reaction. So I play you the clip, and it happened during the debate. The first debate.
Button up this segment. I'm going to give you a minute to answer, sir. You have repeatedly criticized.
I have to answer his statement.
You have
His
repeatedly.
statement? Wait,
No, you've been talking.
He made a statement.
I'm asking you.
I would love
Yo,
to
look,
end
Chris
it.
Wallace is like, no, you've been talking.
If you want to switch seats, we can.
I'm the moderator.
But sending the National Guard, it would be over. There'd be no problem.
Okay.
But they don't want to accept
Can we
the
turn?
National Guard.
Chris Wallace needs a mute button, like his microphone. Why has no one thought of this? Like, the moderator should have control of the mic.
Criticize the
Especially
Vice
Donald
President
Trump,
for not
where
specifically
he's just not
calling
gonna
out
listen.
Antifa and other left-wing extremist groups. But are you
He hears
willing
Antifa, he's like, "You're right."
to condemn white supremacists
Automatically
and
switches, like,
militia
Antifa.
groups, and to say
It's
that
like
they
the boogeyman.
need to stand
He's a little
down and
boogeyman.
not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland.
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared
to
to
do that,
specifically
but
do it?
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. Do you want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name.
supremacists and
Who would you like me to condemn?
white supremacists and right
Who are you like?
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left.
Oh
because
my
this is not a
God.
right-wing-
Did he just do that?
This is a left-wing- This
Did he just say
is
it?
a left-wing-
I will condemn anyone you want me to.
Not an organization.
White supremacists?
That's
What about Antifa?
His FBI director.
What?
No, we're done, sir. We're moving on to the next.
All right, so that was my live reaction during the debate. I actually recorded myself during the entire hour and a half of head spinning debate between the two because there's just nonstop chatter. I even mentioned there early on that they should have muted Donald Trump speaking because he kept interrupting, and fortunately in the third debate they actually added a mute function. That's good. Maybe the FBI was listening somewhere. Maybe my phone is recording me at all times. I hope not. So I think that that was bad. Imagine if I was talking about mass shooters in this country. Like, let's say I came out publicly and I said, stand back and stand by, terrorist. But let me tell you more about this other group here. Well, you don't. That means you just don't give a shit. No one should let him distract from condemning white supremacists. You shouldn't even need a distraction from that. You just say, yes, I condemn them, and I think that they're awful people that are demeaning and do not have a space in the public forum and against the liberties provided by the Constitution and etc. That's literally your answer. Your answer isn't stand back and stand by, but really, let's talk about something else. But let's get on to the third moment. And this moment actually came on really early in Donald Trump's presidency. It was actually within his first year, and it was what convinced me early on that this is a man that is going to tear apart this country. Yeah, there's a lot of things before this, but this particular instance was, I remember I was driving and I was listening to a podcast. I think it was the New York Times, The Daily, highly recommend it. And they played this audio recording of Donald Trump speaking at a rally. He's at a rally in Pennsylvania, in Harrisburg, and he's going to recite the snake poem.
Who has heard the poem called The Snake? So I have it. Does anybody want to hear it again? You sure? Are you sure?
So just pausing there because he actually recited this poem apparently in the campaign trail. I missed it for whatever reason, but he knows what he's saying. This is not something that he just pulled out of his ass last minute. This is him saying it a second time. So I just want to emphasize that.
So let's dedicate this to General Kelly, the Border Patrol, and the ICE agents for doing such an incredible job. This was written by Al Wilson a long time ago. And I thought of it having to do with our borders and people coming in. And we know what we're going to have. We're going to have problems. We have to very, very carefully vet. We have to be smart. We have to be vigilant. So here it is, the snake. It's called The Snake. On her way to work one morning, down the path along the lake, a tender-hearted woman saw a poor, half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she cried, I'll take you in, and I'll take care of you. The border. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. She wrapped him up all cozy in a comforter of silk and laid him by her fireside with some honey and some milk. She hurried home from work that night, and as soon as she arrived, she found that pretty snake she'd taken in had been revived. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed that vicious snake. She clutched him to her bosom. You're so beautiful, she cried. But if I hadn't brought you in by now, oh heavens, you would have died. She stroked his pretty skin again and kissed him and held him tight. But instead of saying thank you, that snake gave her a vicious bite. Take me in, oh tender woman. Take me in, for heaven's sake. Take me in, oh tender woman, sighed the vicious snake. I have saved you, cried the woman, and you've bitten me, heavens why? You know your bite is poisonous, and now I'm going to die. Oh, shut up, silly woman, said the reptile with a grin. You knew damn well I was a snake before you took me in.
He's drawing a comparison to a vicious snake, a poisonous snake, killing a person that took the snake in and sheltered it, and comparing that to immigrants coming across the border that literally risked their lives here for a better life. Somehow people wanting an American dream is poisonous to this country. That human drive is poisonous. There are very, very amazing people that have come to this country that were immigrants, inventors, entrepreneurs, people that built this country, founded this country too. I actually teared up. When I first heard this poem, and I actually teared up a little bit when I was listening to it again because it sickened me, and it should sicken everyone. Because if you're in this country, like you literally can trace your ancestry to some immigrant, some foreigner in this land. So now I want to segue this towards the overarching theme of Donald Trump being a racist, bigot, misogynistic, patriarchal leader. All the titles, I said them. Great. But I showed you why, and it's just something that can't be overlooked. That doesn't matter how you spin it. Doesn't matter if you think that he's packed the courts with conservatives, that somehow that can somehow override all the negative rhetoric and bigotry that he's spread in this country. The people he's radicalized, the people that he's really convinced that they're in the right. It's very wrong. It's setting this country backwards. I don't think that things are gonna happen. I think after the election, if Donald Trump loses, I'm assuming he loses to Biden, based off polling and based off what I'm seeing in different states, I think I still think Trump is not gonna just leave. He's still gonna stick around. He's gonna maybe contest the election, but he's gonna keep tweeting. God forbid Donald Jr. is gonna run in 2024. There's a good chance he's gonna run in 2024. He's gonna run under the same platform as Donald Trump. So we're gonna have more Donald Trumps, is what I'm saying. If he doesn't run then, he will run in the future, and if he doesn't run, there are already Republicans in the Senate that have fully embraced Trumpism, his rhetoric, and I think that it's harmful for politics. I think politics isn't going to get better. It's not going to return back to normal like Biden claims it will if he wins. But I think that it's important to note that this is what Trumpism is, this kind of rhetoric, this kind of bigotry and ignorance towards the people of this country. So I promise it'd be worth it to stick it to the end, and the reason is because I have a $25 Nike gift card and I want to raffle it away. So there's going to be a link in the description below to sign up for it. Highly recommend you go ahead and put in your information for that. I will be making future videos. I will be having guests on for different topics, so I hope you guys enjoy those videos. So if you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me, and I will see you next time.